Kalispera, because we are live. Welcome to This is Mappa live for the second week on the trot. We're getting brave now. Thassos and I, we're getting very brave, aren't we, bro?
Yeah. Yeah, this is what happens when I'm on holiday and don't have notes prepared properly. We do it live.
Why not? Why not? You never
Exactly.
know. What's the worst that could happen? Hmm? What is the worst that could happen? Well, I think that's what a lot of club presidents have been asking the likes of Sapinto, Haralambos, and all the other coaches who have since been dismissed or are teetering on the edge of dismissal, right? What's the
Oh
worst that can
yeah.
happen?
I mean, yeah. Everybody's got a ticket and their numbers being called.
Yep, that's right. So the current standing, which I say that the current number of head coaches that have gone are 6. So we're 22 away from last season's record.
Yeah, we're very close, aren't we? I think I
Yes.
think it I think it might quiet down a little bit for a couple of months, and then
Hmm.
once December comes along, the butter's going to start churning again.
For sure, because the window's going to open and the new managers are going to want to use that window to make their signings.
Exactly.
So it'll be interesting to see how many more head coaches bites. They're not literally bite the dust, you know what I mean? They're given their P45 or whatever is used in Cyprus. I don't know. I don't know. Even if they do have P45s out there, equivalent.
Yeah, unemployment. They'll pick up their unemployment check.
Oh no, he's only gone and frozen, has he? Oh no,
Oh,
you froze for a brief second. You had
I.
a case of the Roy's for a second.
Oh, okay, all right. Because I was going to say you froze.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I
Wow.
was moving
Okay.
fine. I was like jazzing it all up. We can watch it back anyway. We'll find out.
Okay. Does not matter because we're here. We're here. Anyway, so before we start the actual podcast itself, don't forget we have a lovely sponsor, Food from Cyprus. Visit foodfromcyprus.com. Use the discount code NCN12 for 12% discounts. And if you check in the description, there is a lovely link to an Airbnb. We are doing a giveaway. So every purchase that you make with this discount code, you will be entered into a competition for the opportunity to win 2 free nights at an Airbnb in Lefkosia in the new year. And that's it. Look in the description. You've got the lovely website. You can see everything in the room, in the kitchen. So yeah, happy days. This is what we do for you. Yes? Okay.
Yes,
Thassos
exactly.
happy.
Yep.
Thassos is happy. All right. Anyway, let's get started, man, because people aren't here to listen to us promoting stuff. So let's go with our roundup. Salamina, 2-0 victory over Garmiodissa. Take it away.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot to there's a lot to say there really. I've got now Singh has been racking up them assists. He's getting more and more involved in the games, especially with the shit ass
Supposedly.
defenses that we've got in the league. Um, you know, they're really rubbish at the corners. Second goal for Salaminas is a well worked team move with Doragaray finishing it off with just a little poke, like boop, taking it into the correct
Yep.
direction. Um, kind of on Garmodisa's side of things, I can't believe that a manager would pick Anestis over Spoljarit or Antosh, but that seems to be the case. Um, but let's see. Let's see what the next manager decides on.
Yep. Yeah. Well,
How much of that did you hear?
that's the.
Because
No,
it
no,
froze a
I
bit.
got all of it. No, no, I got all of it. I'm just, I'm not surprised that they've got another head coach. By the way, it's their
Yeah,
third head coach of the season.
it's it's unbelievable. Marino Sachas lasted 2 games, and he was hired very quickly once Florian Bratu resigned in his press conference after his last game. Um, so he went from the 25th of September 2023 and he lasted all of 12 days and 2 matches. So those 2 matches were a 0-0 draw with Othellos, which
Yep.
I think they were unlucky to kind of come away with just a draw from that. They took the game on head on and tried to get some kind of result. And then they lost 2-0 to Nel Salamina, and they deserved to lose 2-0 to
Yep.
Salamina. But
For
yeah,
sure.
all that
Absolutely.
goodwill that Sacha had, kind of getting Baralimni promoted and then just keeping them up, or almost keeping them up, if it wasn't for, some people would say dodgy dealings. Um, you know,
We won't talk about that. That was for
yeah,
last
yeah, yeah,
season.
yeah. But anyway, all that goodwill that he had has kind of just gone because of these last 12 days.
Yep.
But it'd be interesting to see where he pops up next.
For sure.
Now,
For sure.
Carmiodissa, we're talking of bringing in, or there was talk of Carmiodissa bringing in this Belgian manager, Frederick
Yep.
van der Biest, who was previously at Aris in 2016-17 and is currently an assistant manager at KV Mechelen.
That's right.
But obviously that's now changed, hasn't it?
Yep. Wonder why.
Yeah,
They've only gone and brought in the guy that they had
twice
last
already.
year, twice already. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So do we want to talk about that now, or do we want to leave it off till later?
We'll leave it for later.
All
We'll
right,
leave it for
okay.
later. We'll
All
leave it
right.
because
Part
we got
two
a
coming
round.
up later.
Yeah, we got a roundup, and the next one is Etinigo beating AEL by a goal to nil, and I guess we're gonna have to talk about this one.
Yeah.
In fact, let's just talk about what happened at full time with the head coach of AEL and what he's up to now. Shall we?
Well, I mean, what happened at full time for
Well,
Christodoulou?
I'm just saying that, yeah, after all, I mean, he had a press conference and he said, I'm not sure if I'm going to be here. We're going to have a conversation with the board. And the next thing you know, a couple of days later, bye.
Yeah, but yeah, pretty much, yeah. So it wasn't just okay, because I know he said last week, he said, if I am the problem, then from Monday I won't be the problem anymore. And that was
Yep.
after last week's games. So I'm guessing he said the same thing, just slightly differently this week. But yeah, obviously the board at IL decided, yeah, off you go, mate. But yeah, like completely. So originally, Haralambos was brought on to be chief scout, and then Janevski got sacked, and he took over on an interim basis. And then I guess the Somadio thought he was doing a good job, so they offered him on a permanent basis in the summer. That permanent basis lasted less games than the interim basis he was there for. But anyway,
That's
uh,
right.
yeah, normal stuff, yeah. But yeah, 24 hours later, um, the announcement that Garmiodissa made wasn't even an announcement. It was basically um, the director of football, Yannis Violaris, was being interviewed on Supersport FM 104.0 if you're in Cyprus. He went on he went on that station at lunchtime and basically just said, "Yeah, we've brought him in." And well, the actual quote is, "Christos Haralambous came about with the parting of ways with AEL. He was a solution that we knew since he had previously worked in our team. It is a risk for him to take over the team at the moment where he is today. He believes in his strengths, and we gave him the keys to the locker room." So not only is he the manager, he's the groundsman as well. Jokes. But yeah,
Fucking hell. So, yeah, he's out the door. Apparently, IL have got a short list of coaches. Not sure who these coaches are. Apparently, it's not a Cypriot. Not a
no, it's
Cypriot head coach on the
definitely not a
shortlist.
Cypriot. They made They made that crystal clear that it's not a
Yeah.
Cypriot.
Yeah.
The president.
What happened? 1 minute. What happened? With what?
Are we still live? We are still live, right?
Yeah, I think we're still live. I guess we are. Maybe he's asking what happened with the Isle situation. I don't know.
Ah, okay. Well, I'll keep talking and wait for another comment
Yeah,
to come
you
in.
keep talking because I need to check something on my router. Yeah, I know what the problem could be if it is lagging, but just give me 2 minutes. I'll be back. I'll be back.
Okay, I'll keep waffling about Isle in the meantime. So, we said that Haralambos has been given the keys to the locker room at Karmiodissa. Isle have specified that they're looking for a foreign coach and that the president of the Somadio is going abroad during the international break, and he will be talking to a few, but not all the names on the shortlist. So there's a couple of questions from me, and then maybe somebody in the comments might know a couple of answers to these questions. But how big is a shortlisting normally? Because he's talking about a few of them, not all of them. Normally it's like 3 or 4 people, right? And how is it not a few of the people, but not all of them? Also, if anyone knows where he's going, the president of IL, could we then deduce who he's talking to? So, for instance, if he's going to Romania, is he talking to Florian Bratu right now?
Well, Bratu did say he's going to use his experience at Carmi Odessa in his next role.
And he said he wanted another job in Cyprus as well.
Okay. Do you think Miliziano has had a word?
I don't know, maybe. But that would mean that your Somadio president is going to Belgium.
Yes, true.
If he's been speaking to Miliziano.
But there's also something that we didn't mention, which we did put on the latest write-up on the Cafés Flares website. When our Twitter account announced the departure
There we go.
of Rambus, right? A former IL player liked the tweet.
Yeah.
He hit that like button and it was within moments.
Yeah.
Moments.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Mm.
Anyway.
No, I suspect. I mean, Haralambos must have done something or other correctly for the Somadio to want to keep him in charge to the point where they offered him a permanent deal after what he did last season, which I guess what he did last season was good. I don't know.
He guided them to a cup final after one game.
But he didn't. Janevski did that.
Listen, I'm just trying to dramatize it as much as possible. He had 11 games as caretaker coach last season and 7 games this season.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, look, it's done. He's gone back to Garmi Odessa for what, his third spell now?
Yep.
Third?
Yep. He's
Yeah.
so I wrote it. I wrote this down. So he's basically, since the beginning of last summer, he has been coach number 2, 4, and 9. Let's see.
Wouldn't it be
Let's
great
see
if he was
what.
coach 2, 4, 6, and 8? 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? get some cheerleaders, pom poms, and everything. Academy Odessa, Russian cheerleaders.
What on top of the 8 guys holding flares up?
Yeah, possibly. Or just have people walking by, like in The Simpsons, the Duff Man, where they're dressed up in the Duff beer costume.
Yeah.
Pooning wines.
Oh
in
yeah.
a wine bottle costume.
You're giving them ideas now.
Well, they had the orange balloons and the orange Range Rover last season outside.
Yeah, and the fruitcake. When they announced Kershagov.
Yep. Which
This
is quite
time,
ironic.
Yeah, exactly. This this time, it's just an announcement on the radio, just like a bleh.
Yep. Maybe their social media team's on holiday. I don't know. Anyway, let's move
Anyway,
on. Let's move on because there's a board draw to discuss. I actually haven't even watched the highlights of this one. I'm not going to lie. So you're going to have to talk me through it. I didn't pay any attention to this game. Buffalo
which
nil,
game?
Ajax nil. There you go.
I mean, it was fine. There was a couple of hits on the bar. There's
Nothing
not a
to talk
lot,
about.
not a lot
No.
went on. Tankovic hit the bar. But Ajax crap at defending, but both the goalkeepers performing well. I mean, you'd expect, obviously, with Pirich, the more clean sheets he gets, the more you'd expect him to raise his confidence up. And then on the other end, Ivicic, he's not been bad, but he's not been, paid the most money for a goalkeeper in the league. Good. But yeah, there's some chances like in the 90 odd minute where he basically earned his money. And I think Ivicic as well is starting to slowly become the goalkeeper that Bathos are expecting. But yeah, there wasn't a lot of attacking prowess out there. Even you see kind of the chances at the end Baffle had with Bruno, with Bruno and kind of more kind of
Bruno
over the
missed
top.
chances.
Yeah, I know, right?
No, that never happens.
Yeah, I know, right? I think this is the double save here. It's pretty good reflexes. There you go, bum
Yeah,
bum,
yeah,
2 saves,
yeah.
and then dives onto the ball. So
Well,
yeah,
you'd expect him to make those saves, but judging by those clips right there, it just seems that Ajax are either too expansive or organized defensively, if that makes sense. It's hot and cold. Some
yeah,
of those clips you're seeing them defending okay with like 10 bodies behind the ball, but then other times they've got such a high line, they're literally playing on the halfway line.
yeah. I don't. I'm guessing they were playing the high line to catch Bafo's counter attack and catch them offside, but it just wasn't working.
No.
On the other side, Bafos defensively, they kind of got away with a couple of chances as well. There was a point in the game where they were trying to play offside on Franz Sol, and Bokai was like a good 5 yards behind the rest of behind
Ah,
everybody
so
else.
he was in Lesiak's territory.
Yeah, exactly. And
Right.
he just
Okay.
played 3 Ajax players on side, but in the end they didn't do anything with it. It's like
Right.
Ajax have got this problem at the moment as well, where Franz Sol hasn't kind of, after the first few games of the season, he seems to have gone off the boil,
Yeah.
and that seems to have died the attacking threat that Ajax have had down a lot. Like they've been relying on Demers firing in the set pieces or just taking shots from outside the box.
He's turning out to be a good player though, isn't he?
He is a very good player. I mean, like I said when Ajax signed him, he's kind of unpopular in the Netherlands, at least, because when he signed for Feyenoord, he was talking about how Ajax is the best team in the Netherlands.
Oh boy.
So he had to
Oh
delete his
boy. Oh boy.
Instagram, I think.
Why would you do that, you utter lunatic? Honestly, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Ah,
So
you know.
yeah, I don't think you'd be able to find another team in the Netherlands, but their loss. He's a very good player, I think. He seems to be fitted in for Ajax into that Gyorsko spot,
Yep.
and he
Yep.
seems to be doing it very well. It's just that
Yep.
everybody else around him isn't doing anything.
No. No. Well, look, we haven't seen much of Farage this season. I think he's
Yeah, he's
been.
been a bit quiet as well.
Yeah. But then again, do you think they're trying to protect him because he played a lot of games last season and he's done okay, but that's not good enough at this level. And we're talking about a team that was, competing for the title last season. So I'm not entirely sure what to make of his situation. However, I must admit, one of the players that has impressed me, um, Tonga, the winger.
No, which one's that one? What's his first name?
I can't pronounce his surname. His first name.
Oh,
Surname is
okay.
Tongya.
All right.
Left
Okay.
hand
No.
side.
There's a player that they've signed whose first name is Alpha.
Okay. I don't know. I
But
don't know.
yeah. So it's not him then. But yeah. Okay. Fine. Yeah. Is he the guy that they signed on loan that was at like
Yep.
Marseille and Man
Yeah. Yeah.
City
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
all these other teams? Yeah.
Yeah.
So he did enough in his past to kind of
Was
get
it
these
Juventus?
teams.
Juventus
Yeah.
from Primavera.
Yeah. So he's done enough to impress these teams up to a certain point. I'm guessing now it's up to him to kind of push on and prove that those teams were right to want to be involved with him.
Yeah,
So he seems to be doing a good job so far.
for sure. For sure. Well, I don't think there's much else we can say about both sides. The point wasn't really good for either of them, in
No,
all fairness.
no,
And given how didn't Buffer absolutely slam Ike 4-0 last season at home?
I
Or was
can't
it the other way
remember.
around? I think they slammed them 4-0 last season, if I'm not mistaken. But listen, the fact is, Buffalo needed the win. They didn't get it. Ajax certainly needed a win. And Ultra signing a new contract in September and then only to lose to Ajax a couple of days later. I don't know how long he's got, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it? It's like here you go. You've performed fine. Here's a new contract. Thanks. All right, everybody do shit now. It's-
Job
I'm not
done,
sure.
guys. Go home.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure what's gone on. He does do a lot of podcasts. I don't know if you've seen, but he does do a lot
He
of
does.
podcasts in
He does.
Spanish
Yeah, yeah.
about his previous experiences in Spain and in Cyprus. Maybe the guy's homesick. Uh, maybe there's something going on in training. I
Maybe
don't
he
know.
just needs a new suit because he looks like he wears the same suit all the time. Maybe that's what it
Well, you
is.
mean like Andoni? Seemed to do all right for him.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Anyway, let's move
But yeah,
on. Let's move.
before we move
Huh?
on, sorry,
Go on.
there's something there's Bafor sold a player to Sporting Lisbon as well this week.
Go on.
16-year-old midfielder Argyris Christodoulou. So he's gone to Sporting Lisbon now. So
He's Cypriot, by the way. Actual
Cypriot,
Cypriot.
an actual Cypriot, is going to Sporting Lisbon.
Yeah.
And he's going to hang
Not
around
one
with
of the
Marcus
not one of the
Edwards.
foreign players that are under 19 that have been nationalized by Barfor. He's
Yeah,
actually Cypriot.
yeah, and they've done that now to two players. So obviously Lisandro has gone to Genoa kind
Genoa?
of at the
Yep.
beginning of the season. Yeah. So they've got these Cypriot players that seem to be impressing uh, international teams, foreign teams. So why don't they just at least start them so they get out of paying the fine that they have to pay every week?
Ah, boy. You want to open a can of worms, do you?
No, 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 no,
You
no,
want
no,
to
no. I
open
don't
that
want this to
can?
be another 3 hour. I don't want this to be
No, no,
another
no,
2 hour
no.
podcast.
No, no.
So
We've done 25 minutes already and we haven't even finished like the yeah. Anyway, let's move on. So let's talk about your team. A 1-0
let's not.
victory. Yeah, come on. Let's talk about your team. Let's talk about your team. Um, yeah, 1-0
Yeah,
victory over Othello and Dongala, scoring on his 100th appearance, if I'm not mistaken. And Sapinto was in the stands, looking like Mr. Lonely.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, third win on the bounce always breeds confidence, doesn't it? we're cooking now, as the kids say. But we need to remember that 2 of these 3 wins were against Aachen and Othellos. It's not like
Oh, don't play it down for crying
I'm
out
not.
loud.
No,
Stop
no,
it.
no. I'm going to play it down a
Stop it.
little bit. It's good.
Stop it.
It's good that we're getting these wins. We're just playing it down a little bit because we should be beating these teams. But yeah. Regardless, 1-0. It would have been more if it wasn't for that Taudul in Othellos' goal. He's Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, that Taudul in Othellos' goal is pretty good, I think. And he doesn't really command his area so much, but kind of on the reflex side and saves is good. I mean, ex-Everton youth team. So,
Got something
but yeah,
about him.
kind of on the, um, you know, choosing what players are playing side of things.
Yes.
Polikarpou, Gatirigis, and Sachas came off the bench as well. So even though Abuel got fined as well this week twice, because they got fined for Achna and Bafo for not
Buffalo.
playing enough
Yeah.
Cypriots. They're going to get fined for this game as well next week because they're not playing enough Cypriots. But at least we got 4 of them off the bench because Efrem came off the bench as well. So
Yep.
I know everybody's like everybody on social media is saying, "Oh, yes, Sapinto's making the changes. He's got his tablet there. He's telling them when to make the changes and the tactics." And no, if that was the case, right? Those 3, that Polikarpou, Katerichis, and Sachas, wouldn't have come on. They wouldn't have because they haven't been coming on when Sapinto's been managing, right? Because he had Fedfad on the bench and he wasn't being used, even though he's been used in every game. Players like that. So
are you suggesting maybe Dominguez and
Morais,
Moraes have got something to do with it?
yeah,
Maybe.
maybe the guys on the pitch are making the decisions, and I think that's what's going on. But anyway,
Okay.
what do I
Look.
know?
Well, put it this way: Sapinto was in the stands
Yeah.
serving a ban, and this time last week when we did the pod, we were talking about potentially the ban being extended by 4 months. And I think it was you that said that one bookmaker reduced the odds dramatically of
Hmm.
the ban being extended. So fast forward Friday, if I'm not mistaken, 2 days later,
Yeah.
bang, there's the announcement, 4-month ban. He's in the stands until January. Now, apparently, Upwell are gonna appeal it because it's an
It's
unprecedented.
it's not Abuel. It's
No,
Sapinto that needs to appeal
oh,
it.
Sapinto. Okay,
Yeah,
right.
because
But the club put
Abuel
out a
in this
statement.
case, yeah, but yeah, the club put out a statement, but in because the club in this case are the third party, they're not the ones that can put the appeal in. It has to be Sapinto.
Okay, so Sapinto has to appeal the ban. Fine, understandable. But it goes back to what we discussed about a potential clause in his contract whereby it will discipline, bringing the club into disrepute, bad behavior, monetary losses by the club could mean he loses his job. Now, I'm guessing here that they're waiting to see the results of the appeal before making a decision because right now it's innocent until proven guilty, yada, yada, yada. Well, he has been proven guilty anyway, but you know what I'm talking about. So, first of all, what are your thoughts on that situation? And then my next question is, who the fuck are you going to bring in next?
Very good questions. Very good questions. Oh, I've got a so Sapinto is going to appeal. Now Gerkida kind of Yes, I don't like the Aboil head coach, my man. I've been saying it since the moment it was rumored that he was going to get brought in. I've been saying, don't bring him in. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna right. So Gekida said that using their previous experience from these appeal processes, have said that one, Sapinto will get 3 days to appeal the decision once he's got an officially authorized translated version of the judgment. So once he's received that, he's got 3 days to for his legal team to put the appeal together and then get that sent off to the Court of Appeal. And the Court of Appeal will arrange a tribunal ASAP, and they're saying that that will be around the 20th of October. So, following the appeal, obviously there's one of 4 things that can happen. The appeal court could agree with the findings and the punishment, and then nothing changes. They could agree with the findings but not the punishment with a reduction. They could agree with the findings and not the punishment with an increase in the ban. And the appeal court could disagree completely with the findings altogether, or there were errors found in the reporting and build-up of the case, and the punishment is thrown out altogether. So, kind of thinking about it, I'm expecting that there will more than likely be a reduction in the punishment, with the next likely result being exactly nothing changes. And that's because Vrionidis, when he put together his argument, was like, one, Sapinto is ill-disciplined, and two, he did this, and this, and this, and then it kept building and building and building to the point where he was like, I've got to give the maximum amount. I've got to give the maximum amount of time for him to be punished. Now, the appeal court might look at that and go, well, no, because like you said in your letter, the security detail at Anorthosis Stadium was there and did absolutely nothing after the press conference. Therefore, they're culpable a little bit as well. So we're probably going to say it's a reduction. Saying that, therefore, I don't think there's going to be an increase in the punishment unless it comes out, some video comes out afterwards showing Sapinto trying to stab the guy or something. I don't know.
Well, have you read the report? Have you read the report?
Well, I've read bits of it. I can't. Right, every time Vrionidis does a report, it's like 4 pages of.
Mate, apparently he's come at the press conference, and there's an Anorthosis fan. I don't know where he was, whether he was in the dressing rooms or the tunnel, whatever. And the Anorthosis fan's gone to Sapinto, "Fuck your mother," and Sapinto's reacted as any normal person. Well, sorry, as any pissed off person would do.
Yeah.
But the fact is, Yannis Oka's name was mentioned, and he was the guy who apparently was hit twice by Sapinto. Now, goes back to what we said last week. There are some people you don't fuck about with in Cyprus.
Exactly. And, because Sapinto doesn't do his research on his opponents, he doesn't know Yanagis Okas and what he means to the Cyprus FA, to the Ethniki, and to kind of the nation in general. So it's an interesting one.
Thank you, coach. Thank you, coach.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you,
But
coach.
yeah, I don't see how they could throw the case out completely either, which was the fourth thing that could happen.
Well,
But
here Mario
lawyers
said,
be
correct me if I'm
lawyering.
wrong, but Yeah, he said, correct me if I'm wrong, but Xavi Roca got suspended for 6 months for close to the same action Sapinto did. It might be extended. Now the thing is, Xavi Roca's a technical director, and he ended up on the pitch, and he was getting fully involved. But Sapinto got involved on the pitch. They didn't mention him kicking the advertising board. Someone sent us footage of that. Actually, I don't know if you saw it on Twitter. Someone actually
Yeah.
sent us footage of Sapinto doing his best Ket Spire impression. But the fact that a lot of things happened off the pitch, which obviously it's down to what eyewitnesses or the referee's report or whatever. It's going to be a tricky one for him to get out of.
Hmm.
But I don't know. He just seems slippery, man. He seems slippery. But then again, the fact is, do you
It's
think
it's it's all
Abor?
that beer that got poured over him at half time. That's what that is.
Yeah, maybe. Are there? Anyway, well, so the next question was, who do you think will come in to replace him if he does leave? That is,
Do we? I mean, can we keep Dominguez? He seems to know what he's doing.
I don't see why not. I don't see, but then again, if he's loyal to Sapinto, then would he want to ruin his reputation? Listen, I've seen it time and time again. Assistants leave with their coaches, right? And the
Yeah.
reason being is that they know that if they stay loyal to them, the next time the head coach gets a role elsewhere, he's going to follow him. It's like, what's his name? That was at Spurs after when Conte left. His number two decided to stay,
Yeah.
but then he got the boot. And I don't think he's talking to Conte and vice versa. I don't think they're talking. Stellini, that's his name.
Well, I mean, but now Salamina, Bursa Didi left, but his assistant stayed,
Yeah,
and his
true.
assistant is doing a pretty good job.
True. I think his second doesn't have a UEFA Pro. Yeah, but he can. Well, then again, he can still work, but Abor will get fined every game. So I don't think they'll want that. Get
No,
fined
they
every
won't.
game until he gets no. Of course
No,
not. So okay, you want Moraes, don't you?
I want Moraes because I think one, he knows the club inside out. He knows young players. He knows the old players. He knows the history of the club. He's been through it with the club. I think he could do a good job for him. It just, I, I just want to see whether or not. Okay, all right, Pedro. All right, Pedro, ruin it for everybody. Yeah, they could get it by the
You ain't got
time
your badges. You ain't got your
they they,
badges.
they,
Nah,
they
nah,
could
nah,
get
nah,
it.
nah.
They could get it by they could get the badges by the time by the time Sapinto's kicked out the door, or maybe they're waiting for them to get the badges.
Possibly, possibly. But Money that I will want a big name, won't he? He'll want a big name.
He will. Moraes is a big name, at least for our Abuel fans.
He got his badges.
I know he ain't got his badges, but we'll still.
You'll still mute yourself.
We'll still, man. What's his name?
Oh, we'll still. I thought you
Yeah.
said we will still. Okay, yeah, we'll still.
No.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is every time he coached the game, the club got fined.
Fined by who?
Wasn't it the French FA? They find the club every time.
Yeah. Okay. So do you think the Cyprus FA wouldn't organise some kind of deal?
I don't know. I don't
Like for
know.
instance,
I
with
don't know.
the English FA and Middlesbrough when Gareth Southgate was in charge and didn't have his coaching badges.
I'm not ruling anything out. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, I just gave you an example.
All right, fucking hell. Fuck your club. I don't
You
give a
know,
shit what happens to your club. Piss off.
you know. No, I've thought about it. You give me enough time. You give me enough time to talk about it. I
You're
can
not
I
going to
can
bring
find ways
Ingebrigtsen
around it.
back. You're not going to bring Mick McCarthy back. You're not going to bring. You don't need these guys. You're not going to bring Uzunidis back. So
Yeah,
I don't
stop
know.
bringing people back. Let's bring some new people.
Better have a better look at it because I think it's more than just a fine. Okay,
Oh, okay. Okay, I will do.
we've got money, no problems. Banikui,
Who's
are
we?
you are you an Apoel fan?
Who's
Banikui,
we? Banikui. Because
interesting.
I can tell you, Abuela got no money. Sorry, for people who might be listening because they've downloaded it, that comment said, Jesus brought Lazarus back.
This isn't a biblical podcast, man. I mean, if you go on YouTube and click live, you see all these different podcasts that are actually streaming live, and you do get a whole load of godly podcasts and all that kind of stuff. Go to that. I don't want none of this stuff. Anyway, moving on. We've done 40 minutes.
Yeah, let's go.
Right. So Apollon walloped Doxa. Funny that they didn't really struggle against Doxa, unlike another team that should be challenging for the title. And a hat trick, a hattie for Marquez. I'm telling you this now, bro. He'll be top scorer this season. Guarantee it.
You're going out there here with
I'm
that.
going out there.
I
Top
mean,
goal scorer this season.
I said they were missing. They were going to miss someone like him, and they've got him. But yeah, fantastic player. While we're watching the highlights, I want everybody to keep an eye on that fucking Antoniadis on his hood, right? And all the mistakes he makes, right? Just all of them. Like, it's unbelievable. Here it comes. Did you see it? Did you see it?
Oh, yes. Of course. Like, come on, man. You're talking about the guy that dissects everything defensively.
It's
I'm not going to go
it's
into it.
it's so fun. Ah. Anyway, every time there was some attack that Apollona were being involved with, and you see Antoniadis fuck up somewhere, and then they
Yep.
end up with a chance or a goal. It's unbelievable, and then he gets taken off in the 79th minute. But yeah, it's unbelievable. But yeah, I mean those were my notes on it. Is how amazing Marquez is,
Yeah.
and how shit Antoniadis is.
Mate,
Pretty
I'll tell
much.
you, this striker, look, he scored the goal the other week where he didn't get over the keeper, and I thought, okay, fair enough, no problem. But the goals that he scored for Apollon, the first one
Here we go.
it was just instinctive, right place, right time, smashed
Smashed
it
it.
in, no messing around, knew exactly where he wanted the ball to go, none of this trying
Watch
anything fancy.
Antoniadis. Watch
But
Antoniadis.
look at his space. He knew exactly.
Yeah,
Look at his
and then
movement, though.
yeah, no, he's a fantastic player. He's going to do a lot this season. I think is it the second or the third goal as well? That's an absolute banger.
Yeah, the third one for sure.
Yeah, the
The
third
third
one. The
one.
second one's
I
a
mean,
tactic.
this one
But
was yeah, but it's again it's anticipation. He knows
yeah,
the shot's coming in, and he's gambled because the goalkeeper might parry, and he's the first one there.
yeah,
He's the first one there. But
yeah.
the third goal for the hat trick, fucking hell, the first touch was just unbelievable, man, unbelievable. And this is why I keep saying, he's 25 years old, right? He's come from a very decent club in Nijmegen. And mate, look at that first touch. First touch sets himself up, bottom corner. Come on, man. Put it across the keeper. That's what you need to do. That's how you finish. And I'm telling you, he's going to be top goal scorer this season. Mark my words. Mark my words.
Let's see, because
He will.
well,
If he
I'm
doesn't
just
get
saying.
if he doesn't get
Let's see.
injured, I'm telling you, he's going to shag the granny out of this league.
Yeah, I did. Listen, I'm agreeing with you. He's a very good player. But I think the league has got a lot of very good players, especially up front. And
Let me bring something to your attention
the
here,
league
right?
defenses are absolute shite. So
I agree.
so,
But here's something that Mario said. Milovic is cooking. He had the same impact with Abuor last season. And if I'm not mistaken, it's a similar sort of situation because
yeah,
didn't he join Abuor after the transfer window closed?
yeah.
Yeah?
Basically, it was a team that was brought in for Avosti.
Yeah.
Avosti got sacked, and then Milojevic came in,
Right.
changed some things around, and got the team to perform well. Saying that, the talisman that he would have otherwise had, he didn't have at Apoel. Gvilidaya wasn't and still isn't the one who's kind of he's not been
Yeah.
finishing. He's not been scoring for Apoel. Whereas Pedro Marquez seems to be doing exactly what's needed. I mean, he's only been doing it for 2 games, so it's still a bit
Yeah.
early, but he seems to be delivering for him.
But
Like there's
he's taken no time to get settled. This is a
yeah,
difference.
as well. But there's a few players that have done that, and it's something I've seen a lot of the players coming down the right at Apollon, like it was at Apoel. Again, Susic at Apoel last season. Darik was doing it this season for for Apollon. So I think is hopefully Apollon has got a plan B, because once the team figured out his plan A when he was at Apoel, he didn't have that plan B to try and break through. So let's see. Let's see. It's very interesting. Apollon are
Yeah.
very interesting right now.
Yeah.
They were
Although,
that was the thing I said they were missing. They were missing that Bitas player, and
oh,
now
for
they've got
sure.
him.
Oh, for
Yeah, now
sure.
they've got
And
him
don't forget, I mean, you mentioned that right hand side. They've got was it Kostaki?
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, who's been brilliant for them, and even Abdurrahimi can slot in right wing if need be.
He's more central though, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
but he can still do a job at wide right, and they got
Mhm.
Valbuena to come off the bench, and I think his influence on and off the pitch has got a big role to play.
Mhm.
That being said, look, Milojevic is a fantastic coach. He's absolutely brilliant, and this goes back to lineage and goes back to what I keep saying about if you want to have a successful club. Okay, of course you need to have the structure, you need to have the finances to bring in the players, you need the right mold, so to speak, but you need that coach there with the experience or with the tactical awareness to move you forward. Now, people will say, "Oh, Spilewski's 36 and he won the title." Well, Spilewski was at RB Leipzig, he was at Stuttgart. These aren't namby-pamby clubs. We're talking about Bundesliga giants here, right?
Yeah.
So if you're coaching there at two of those clubs and you come to Cyprus and you win the league, it shouldn't be a surprise, irrespective of how old he is. But Milojevic is
Mhm.
he's top notch. Don't care what anyone says.
No,
So
he is. He is. The thing that didn't work out well was because of there was massive injuries. Um, Now, what Apollon fans need to take into consideration as well is they've signed a couple of players with big injury lists as well. So it'd be worth keeping an eye on that, because obviously already Kremenchik, which was one of them, has missed the last couple of games because of injury. So just keep an eye on that.
yeah. Okay, let's move on to this mess. And I'm sure the viewers, everyone that's watching, you're gonna have to go through this again, guys. On one ear three, eyes three. I said what I had to say on the podcast. I still haven't calmed down, but I'm gonna let my Upwell supporting friend here do his analysis, and then I'll say what I need to say. We'll move on.
Okay, so um, I'm just going to read off my notes. I'm going to do it in such a way that hopefully people won't get annoyed with me. Yeah.
Doing
So
the Samuel L. Jackson voice.
uh, these motherfucking Castros on this motherfucking pitch. No, uh, but so Yari Castro is he's a good player. He's on fire at the moment. The way he moves around on the pitch, someone's going to be poaching him in January, regardless. Um, I've been laying into Fabiano the last couple of weeks, but like everybody else, he wasn't expecting Castro to be shooting from there, and it just looks like he's been caught off guard from the pace and the power of the shot as well. Because not only has he hit it from so far away, but he's hit it with a lot of pace, a lot of power. I mean, you can see the ball is spinning as it lands on the
The ball
netting.
started
So
crying the moment he connected.
yeah, he really hit it. On the other side of things, is great strength from Karim, by the way, here to get the goal. And then Gagulis, obviously, he gets the goal, gets his confidence up just in time, forgets Bayer. to put it down at rock bottom again. So that's
Yep,
that's
standard.
great. There's I'm waiting for there's another highlight that comes in, but we're back to the Lesiaks I got used to last season. I think it's that loose pass that kind of comes in. I don't know who he was aiming it at, but you're just waiting for Fabiano to bail him out. Like he comes rushing out to stop the on-running IS player to finish it off. But yeah, as Semedo, he scored plus point. And I know I've been like, oh, Semedo is really good, he's really good, he's really good. But if you remember from when I talked about him for Paphos last season, I talked about how he should stop shooting because he can't shoot for shit. He's very good at assists. He's very good at getting across the ball, running out defenders, getting it across the goal, trying to cross it. He's very good at some. There's the Lesiak's pass. I don't know who that was to,
Jesus
but either way, he got
Christ,
away with
honestly.
it, didn't he? But yeah, um, as I was saying, for Paphos, is Semedo will do a lot for you. You can't rely on him as a goal scorer though, because as Pedro said, he missed so many chances. Um, but yeah, I mean, did you see that for a cross, for instance? That was a beautiful cross from Semedo there.
I
And
still
then
can't
Gaguli's,
figure out what his best foot is, to be honest. But anyway,
yeah,
carry
yeah,
on.
because he took shots with both feet during the game as well. Digini hit the bar as well. He did Banayodu there, and he he Banayodu didn't have the best of games, I gotta say. I mean, even for Ayes' second goal, it just like he lets the goal scorer kind of run off freely to play the ball under Fabiano. But yeah, um, Semedo's goal. I think Semedo takes his goal very well. I think. I mean, nobody. I don't understand why nobody's running into him to kind of chop him down or anything. But by the time he gets to within shooting range, it's a good goal.
I'm just interested to know where the right back is. But anyway,
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, really, this game should have been put to bed a long time before Ayers' second equaliser came in. And again, yeah, Panayotu loses Slogger. Slogger gets in and puts it underneath Fabiano for the second goal. But yeah, this game had so many chances in it, wasn't it? It was defenses for most teams in the league are absolute shite. It's unbelievable. But yeah,
5v2
but
situation.
yeah,
5v2 situation. That's all I have to say.
yeah. A couple of players not really paying attention to where the other players are. Like Gaguli there could have played it across the goal a lot sooner. Semedo would have had a tap in.
Or
Um,
would he now? Because
well,
he almost
yeah,
had
but
he almost
we'll
had a tap
yeah,
in later. Okay,
yeah. So
okay,
yeah, I was gonna wait for that highlight to come up,
yeah. And
but
this
yeah,
one, you got to score. Don't care what anyone says. You got to hit the target minimum.
hmm but yeah, there's so many chances in this game. On money, I could have put this game to bed a lot sooner, couldn't they?
No, for sure, for sure. Why do you think I was so angry? You
Yeah,
know,
because
this.
this, I I got nothing for you. He should be burying it the first time. Um, I don't know
This
why.
he's got to score this instead of going down. It's
Yeah,
easier to score than it was to fucking go down for a penalty. Honestly, it's terrible. It's terrible. I'm not
Yeah.
over this. I'm not over this.
No, 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 no. I got, I got nothing for you. I got nothing for you. I, I think he's a great player, but I don't know.
No,
Maybe
great players don't do stupidness like that, mate. Great players don't do. You use that word.
his decision
Ugh,
making on Football Manager would be like a 5 out of 20.
flipping
It's,
hell. And this is Alium's chance, which again, to be fair on the guy, it was a tricky one because the goalkeeper narrowed the angle, but it was a poor finish. And
mm.
then look at the marking, non-existent. Just give him time to shoot, boys. Yeah, let him shoot. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, and I mean, okay, he's hit it from really far away, but Fabiano should be doing a lot better with the shot. I mean, I had to look at this highlight like a few times to see if there was like a deflection or something, and that's why he kind of, I don't understand. I don't understand why he kind of went for it the way he did. Well, I mean, I
I don't
do
know. I
understand,
really don't know. I
but
really don't know. Really don't know. But I don't
yeah,
know. It's like I said on the pod. The moment we went 3-2 down, I was still confident that we'd get something out of it because they're just eyes are just so bad defensively.
mm,
And it was a very good goal by Alium. He made it all himself. He made the run. He did the chop, and then put it in the bottom corner. But even still, man, scoring three, great. Conceding three, it's not good enough, Hustle. You
it's
can't win the
not.
league by conceding goals, 3 goals a game. It's ridiculous.
It's not. These are not games you should be dropping points at. The good thing is obviously, well, the good thing for Omonia is um, all the big teams are dropping points, but they're dropping points against each other,
Right.
right? Omonia's problem seems to be they're performing well against the bigger teams, and then
Yep.
dropping the points against the teams they should be beating.
No, agreed. Agreed. But what can you do? It is what it is.
It is what it is. But yeah, I just wanted to just a couple of words on Alium as well. So I
Hmm.
know, obviously, I know what you think about him, but for me, the way I see him, the way I've seen him in the highlights and the bits and pieces that I've seen, is he reminds me a lot of a player I used to really like at Villa, is Marlon Harewood. I knew you were going to pull a face like that when I mentioned Marlon Harewood. Marlon Harewood, right? He had strength and speed, and he only ran in a straight line. But he would do it. He would do it. He'd drive himself into the ground for you. He would run around all around the pitch, trying to get the ball, trying to get into positions, trying to. He wasn't the most skillful player, but he was a player that um, he got on side with the fans because he kind of put it all out there. He got a few good goals, and he just gave 110%. You see what I mean?
So he did the minimum.
No, I'm not saying the minimum. I'm saying like because right, Gagulis, right? He's not doing what Alium is doing at the moment. Yeah,
Okay.
he's not directly running at defenders. He's not kind of doing something explosive. Karim is not doing it either, right? But Alium, he hit the crossbar in the game. He had a couple of really uh, decent chances, and he got a goal as well in the game. And he came off the bench. He didn't even start the game. Some of the players that you had in the forward line that started that game couldn't say the same.
You want my take on that?
Well, players that should be starting should be performing better as well.
Well, I agree. Although a winger effectively only goes against one player, which is the fullback. The centre forward has got two centre backs and potentially two holding midfielders that are sitting in front of the back four to protect. So I don't expect Gagolid to be running at defenders unless he's in a 1v1 situation, which he hasn't really done well in the last couple of games, to be fair. To be fair. Now, with Alioum, I've said what I had to say about him. I'm not going to go on about it again.
No.
The fact is, he did a job the other day, which was more than other. Simic, for example, Simic was non-existent. But the fact is, bro, the way I see it, this coach has got to take the majority of the blame for this result, as far
Yeah.
as I'm concerned.
Yeah. No, I agree with you on that as well.
But I'll only be repeating myself.
Yeah, I
I'll
mean,
only be repeating myself.
considering this is supposed to be Mr. Motivator, yeah, this is his big thing is to get these players geared up and psychological and doing all this stuff. It's all well and good getting them bigged up for the big games, but you need to get them motivated for these games as well. This is the difficult games to get them motivated at, because all due respect to Ayers, but they've only got 12 fans, so they can come at me. They're Ayers, right? Ayers, all right, the way Lugar has got them playing kind of like an Aris light kind of. I mean, it makes sense because that's what he started to do with Aris as well, and then Shpilevsky came in and kind of took it up 3 or 4 more levels. So Lugar is doing the same thing at Ayers. So it makes sense that there's kind of like a similar thing going. But still, Omonia should be beating a team like Ayers. Full stop. And that's it.
Let's move on before I lose my temper again.
Okay,
And I don't want
so
to lose my
yellow
temper.
warning. Yellow warning for
Yes.
betting.
Yes. Well, before you talk about that, there was a what was say a screenshot that was brought to our attention after the game, and apparently this was part of an email that was sent to um I don't know, Stikima, which is a betting company. I guess their customers. I don't know. Again, it says, please be informed that our company, following instructions received from the National Betting Authority, has immediately proceeded with the suspension of betting for the football match between the First Division match Omonia versus Aez, which is taking place today on the 7th. Blah, blah, blah. Therefore, we have probably cancelled all betting selections on this match. Which then you've got people making assumptions that Lesiak's got paid off, Bashiru got paid off, Semedo got paid off, Fabiano got paid off. No mention of the Ayes players, by the way, who a club that got done twice last season, if I'm not mistaken.
They got done once.
Once and accused.
And but they got done once because Vrionidis couldn't work out who was at fault during the game. So basically, both Ayers and Olympias Libyon had their funding from the Cyprus FA taken away from them for last season. So that was the first punishment. Ayers, though, last time they were in the first division, got a 6-point deduction because of betting irregularities. Suspicious betting activity. Now, so there was this yellow warning that went out, but I think it's either this morning or yesterday morning. The committee, the cesspool.
Cesspit.
Yeah, they came out and said that they couldn't find any evidence of any wrongdoing, therefore they've parked it. So there's a comment right at at 8:42. It says, what is your opinion about the Sports Ethics and Protection Committee's willingness to examine the yellow alert in relation to the Omonia versus Ayers game? And that's what we think about that. Yeah.
It just goes back to the whole bike situation from last season where the two players got banned for life, and then it turns out that they weren't actually match fixing, they were just shit.
Yeah.
And I think it just goes back to the game at the weekend. Mario's put up a comment. Guys, I heard the story from the Governor that an Australian placed an 800 grand bet on the game. I don't know if it's true, but that's what I highly doubt that if it was 800 grand, then it would have made the news. Surely it would have
Yeah.
made the news.
I'm not.
Maybe 800 quid. I want to say 800,000. I mean, it's just a ridiculous amount of money to bet on a Cypriot game, especially an Australian. I don't know.
Well, what,
I don't know.
$800,000? That's like €5, isn't it?
Fucking hell. Fucking hell.
Oh man, we
Anyway.
just lost 300 Australian listeners.
All right, okay, let's move on. Now, before we talk about the Anorthosis Ari game, for those of you who don't know or didn't notice, while players were walking out on the pitch, there were two balls with helmets. There were two balls with helmets that were coming on. And as you see from our Twitter account or X account, it's from the Cypriot National Betting Authority. And they decided that they were going to have mascots to lead the players out on the pitch to mark their safe gaming week. But ask that Australian what he thought about their safe gaming week to promote responsible gambling. Now, I just was joking, saying Sapinto won't be sneaking into the stadiums in these outfits. But as you can see from the thumbnail, there's one of them talking Portuguese. So it's a joke. It's a joke. So as you can see, I'm beginning to sound like Monco. As you can see, Anorthosis. Here you go. The ball's on the pitch. There we go. 7.
All our balls out.
Put your balls on the pitch. And they're wearing t-shirts as well. So, Ari, who defeated Glasgow Rangers the other day, fantastic victory for them, went to Anorthosis, and they inflicted their first defeat of the season.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And then?
Yeah. I mean, you said it previously about Anorthosis' defense being the weak link. Everybody's defense is their weak link. But you said about Anorthosis' defense, if they have an injury in defense, then they're going to be in trouble. I think they're in trouble already with the defense. I mean, you can see with both of Aris's goals in the first half, the defenders have had a shocker, man. I mean, look, nobody's watching the runner. Nobody's watching Gomis as a runner. They're just letting.
Can I just ask you something, by the way?
Yeah.
Why is he saving it with his feet?
No idea. Mikhail, I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't
sorry.
know. We were singing his praises last week, weren't we? Saying how he's doing a good job.
Drop and collect the ball, and then it won't come out to the striker. Anyway.
Yeah, and then the second goal as well. The second Aris goal again is well worked move. You know, with the high press from Aris, and Orthos' defender makes a mistake, kind of tries to get to the ball, misses, and then Gomis sets up Mayambella for the second goal.
Through the keeper's legs as well.
Yep.
No, nutmegged him.
Yep. But yeah, disappointing. Disappointing on Orthos' and Aris. I think they thought they were cruising. Kind of took the pedal off the accelerator. Kind of settled down a bit, and Orthos got into the game. Haralambos kind of doing fantastic to just get the cross away, and then whoever gets to that got the easiest goal to score in their life. You're not going to get an easier goal than that to score, are you?
No, and it's happened to be the guy that was wearing an Apollon shirt and an Apoel shirt during the summer.
Yeah, yeah.
Chico.
Chico
Chico
Banzai.
time.
I mean, in theory, he should have got a red card last week, so he shouldn't have been on the pitch. But anyway, anyway. Yeah.
That's a good finish from 1 yard out, mate. Brilliant.
Oh yeah. Calm and collected. Fantastic finish. No,
Goal of the season contender, mate.
I'm all about Haralambos, man. He's done fantastic to get there.
Yep.
It's a great assist. But yeah, then this happens. Then basically, Aris are unlucky to not get the third goal.
Yep.
Should be finishing that there. Yeah, I would also be shocked with that miss.
Yep. Yep.
That should have been a goal. But yeah, and then second half, Anarthoses are only 2-1 down, so they think they can get away. And I think at one point they have is it a set piece that Julio scores from?
No.
No, it's not.
No.
Is it from?
No, open play, mate. Open play. I mean, it was a lovely finish as well. And the thing is, it went to VAR because they were claiming for offside.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was a good goal though. Good goal. So yeah,
yeah.
fantastic finish.
Fantastic.
Fantastic finish.
But played Van Alves for a mug there as well. Like
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
really did it. And the
Yeah.
thing is, right? I think I don't think he's 18 yet either.
No. No, not at all. Not at all.
He's going to be. I mean, we saw glimpses of what he can do as well last season when Mihajlovic was bringing him off the bench.
Funny that.
Um,
An obviously coach using youngsters. Who'd have thunk it?
yeah, I know, right?
Hmm. Okay.
I know.
That's a good
Okay.
reverse pass as well, though, by that
Yeah.
Gazama guy.
Yeah. No, it's a great. It's a great team move. Great finish. Keep an eye on this fella. He's
Yeah.
going to be.
But the celebrations didn't last long, did it?
No, not
Look at
long at
that.
all. It's a sucker punch basically, and
Crying out
again,
loud.
defensive error, man. Ball watching because kind of when you see the highlight, there's no Aris players are moving except for Gogorin,
Yep.
who plays it
It's,
across
it,
the goal.
that's a corner. That's a set piece routine. That is something that they did on the training ground because the way that he peeled off back stick, it's not something that you do. Okay, you might do it instinctively if you're an experienced player like Gagarin, but he's a centre forward.
Yeah,
So I think that's something that they worked on the training field. But in all fairness, I think Ari deserved the victory. I
yeah,
wouldn't say that Anorthosis were knocking on the door too much after the third goal from Ari. Yeah, it was just crossing the ball in the box, inshallah. But the fact is, I think the an Anorthosis loss was on the cards given the injuries that they've had, given a few changes that they've made. And as I mentioned, defensively, they haven't been great. All three goals. Not I'm saying that it could have been, well, yeah, they could have been prevented, but it's all about the individual mistakes, playing the high line,
hmm
not tracking runners. The third goal, I think they had 8 players in a line defending the set piece.
yeah. But it's not just that. Is Gagarin makes the run, and they've all run to the goal.
Yeah,
No Aris player is there,
yeah,
so they're ball watching. They're
yeah,
just all gone to the ball.
yeah.
Is
Anyway, it is
But
what it
yeah, I
is.
think Aris as well. They weren't at the races for about half the game. They let Anarthoses back into the game. So I think Shpileski probably would have been very disappointed with the performance for about half the game, where they should have put the game to bed and instead they let Anorthoses back in. And Shpileski actually came out and said in the press conference that he didn't do rotation for this game because everyone was expecting him to rotate the team. But I think it's more the players that he rotated for last week when they played against Apollon didn't perform, and he saw that there was an international week coming. So he thought, well, no, I'll just play the players who played well against Rangers, get the result here, and then rotate in a game that's less important in inverted
Yeah,
commas.
for sure. For sure. Well, look, before we move on, let's just bring up the league table so we don't forget, because this is something that I seem to do quite frequently. So this is the league table. Apollon, top of the league, 15 points. Then you got Ari, Apoel, Anorthosi, and Buffer all on 14 points. Omoni on 13. Then you got Salamina, Aek on 9 points. Aek actually literally in the middle, aren't they? Because they're 6 points away from top spot, and I think they're 6 points away from the relegation zone. So yeah, they're dead in the middle. Then you got Ethnigo, Ael, Aez, and the bottom three, Othello, Garmildesa, and Doxa. I think it's going to take more than a miracle to keep Doxa up. If it's my brutal opinion here, but anyway.
Yeah. Yep. I think whoever takes charge of Doxa next is gonna have. He's gonna have a difficult job on him.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sacha's gonna be knocking on the door. Merry-go-round. They're all going on a merry-go-round.
Well, look, just a quick icon or quick image. Say icon. Here's your 6 that have been sacked so far, and I'm pretty sure that there's not a big enough room to fill the rest of them that are going to go at the end of the season. So there you go. There
No.
you go. Anyway, what's next? We've done an hour and 15 minutes. Flipping hell.
Yeah.
Flipping hell.
Yeah. I mean, we could talk about what's going to be happening next week. No, not next week. Over the next few days, because we've got the call-ups.
Oh. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Here we go. Oh,
Here
for
we
flipping
go.
hell's sake.
Look at
Okay,
that.
so
1,
yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5 Anorthosis players. 5 Anorthosis players. Marios Antoniadis, who was at Anorthosis last season. Christofi, who was at Anorthosis last season as well. 7 Anorthosis players from last season.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Now, Michalis Ioannou got injured, as did Pita, which is very disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
But Pitas and Michalis Ioannou are injured, and they've been replaced by Danilo Spogliarits.
Okay.
Just
One
one player.
replacement.
2 players are injured, replaced by 1 player. That's the first thing, right? We talked about the anorthosis tax. Now, no Sodirio or Johnny's. I'm guessing it was deemed that there was no point in them being involved. I think especially for Johnny's, because traveling from Kansas to get to Gibro is a pain in the ass.
Yep.
And if he's going to show up and only play one half of football in the wrong position, you might as well tell gets by, picks up the phone. Okay, fuck off. Put the phone down on him. Now, the other thing as well, so he's picked Bilea. Like, he didn't need an injury for Bilea to be picked. However, at left back, he's got Gorea, Bilea, Ioannou. I think Pavlos Gorea can play left back as well.
Yep.
Right? So Bileas has only been picked to be put there just to get us to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, pretty much.
You don't. But like, what? Anderson Correa is not even starting for Anorthosis anymore. Yeah, his whole thing about picking players that start, and having problem with finding players that start games, right? There's a defender in the Super League in Greece that's not that's not Bileas, right? Is Sielis. He plays for Volo,
Yep.
and he's played every single minute of every game so far for him, and he's not in that team.
Well, look, the good thing is for us, you and I, big heck.
Yes, that I was going to get to. You've got Stavros Gavril in there for me personally, because I think he needs to be in there. He's doing well, but Hector Cipriano has been doing well for seasons,
Yep.
plural, and for him to finally get the call up now, I mean, I at least want to see him play as well, right? Is
Well,
he
yeah,
going to play
you'd
that?
hope. No, I doubt it. I doubt it. I highly doubt it, to be honest. What do you want me to tell you? He might play against Georgia. Never know. He might do.
I mean, as well, that you reported on the press conference, it sounds like he's just going to line up exactly the same
Yeah, for
for
sure.
these two games as he's done before,
For
even
sure.
against Georgia. Georgia, you can take Georgia on, man. It's not. He's basically
But
just
where's
handing
Ketspire
Georgia.
from?
Yeah, he's
Where's he
basically
from?
just handing Georgia the points. It is very disappointing.
And the funny thing is, in the press conference today, once again, he mentions the Nations League. Again. No,
Yeah,
we're playing in the Nations League against clubs at our level. Mate, I don't care, right? It's like I keep saying. Against Norway, fine. We're expected to lose. But at least attack. Attack them. Go for it.
yeah, and Georgia, in theory, we're at a similar level to Georgia, so we should be taking the game to them. But we're not.
No.
So yeah, 5-4-1, 5-4-1.
5-4-1. Standard.
So who's he going to be playing up front? Do you think he's going to be Kakuli, or do you think he's going to stick Christofi up front and play with a false 9?
Um,
So in essence, it's a 5-6. Sorry, 5-5.
he might play Mario Ilia. Might play him as a false
Jesus
9. Because
Christ.
he's the only player in the strikers that can do that false 9 role, like Sodiril did. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Castanos as a number 10. You just know it's going to happen.
Yeah. No, I know.
The
I know.
question is, who's going to play centre backs? Is Gusula going to do it? Is it going to be Gogic?
No, he's going to play Gogic. He's going to play. He's going to play Andreu in the wrong position. He's going to play fucking Antoniadi. I swear to God, he's going to have Antoniadi in there, and I'm gonna blow a gasket.
Shall we talk about the under 21s, which is a bit more
Yes, let's talk
promising?
about the under 21s.
Yes.
Yeah, because the under 21s, I love. I get like look at the. No, that's the under 19s that you brought up.
Is it?
But we can talk about them as well.
Yeah, talk about them. Did you
But
send
look
me
at
the
this.
under 21s?
PSV Eindhoven, Genoa, Olympiacos Piraeus, Sassuolo. You got all these. You got teams, proper teams, and Gourlis Erimis. But anyway, yeah, you got Konstantinos Evribidou, Lisandro. You got. No, I'm expecting a lot of these players that are coming through right now in the under 19s and the under 21s. We need to get gets buyout out sharpish.
He needs to go ASA.
He needs to go. Yeah, can you imagine gets Julio when they gets by a team?
Fucking hell. Stop it.
Yeah,
Stop it.
exactly. You know, it's ugh. Yeah, and then, in the under 21s as well. It's like I'm looking at the under 21s,
Yeah, let me
um,
just get them up in a second. Well,
and
let's get up on the screen. Here we go.
there's a few of these players that you'd think, no, they'll be all right in the main team, wouldn't they? You've got Ocas at Fulham,
Yep.
you've got Foddy at Hanover, who's actually playing games for Hanover in the Bundesliga too. You've got Evangelos Andreu, who's playing week in, week out for AL. The thing that Gaspar keeps complaining about, that he can't find players that play week in and week out.
Yep.
Yeah, but there's some players in there as well, such
We got a striker
as
at Torino as well. Got a striker at Torino.
yeah,
You know.
Sava, exactly. Yeah, he's only playing in their Primavera
Well,
at the
but
moment,
he's playing. But he's
but he's
playing.
playing and he's doing them, doing bits for him as well. Like every
Mm.
so often, a goal of his will appear on YouTube. So I don't want any of these I don't want Getspire being involved with these players, because these are players. They're coming out of nowhere.
Yep.
They're going to be. There's a generation coming through. I don't want to be like golden generation, but there's some really good players coming through in our youth teams that I don't want Getspire being involved with. The under 19s, right? There's no in that under 19s. Ortelli's not in there.
Nope.
Neither are the other two Watford players that
Yep.
qualify.
Yep.
And if you have a look at the Watford Youth Academy website, they actually specify Ortelli as being Cypriot.
Right. Right. There you
So
go.
fucking pick him. Pick him. Anyway, there's a lot of there's a lot to be excited about.
Yeah, there is, but again, depends on who is at the top making the decisions. But again, we'll probably talk about this after the 7-0 loss
Yeah,
against
I mean,
Norway and a 5-0 loss against Georgia.
part of me is like he keeps picking up these Gibraltar games. Part of me is like, fucking lose to Gibraltar, that way he can fuck off.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, what's next?
I just want to mention very briefly, Apollon Ladies' second round of the Champions League. I wanted to report that.
Yeah, they got a bit of a hiding, didn't they?
Yeah, they lost 7-0 to Benfica.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Hey, but we have a team in this competition, which I guess
Yeah.
is
So
the
here's
same.
a thing I wanted to bring up, like on this, because obviously we've got a ladies team in the Champions League qualifiers. They got past the first round, which means they had
Yes.
to play 2 games in a round robin format, and they had to come top for them to qualify for the second round. And then the second round they ended up with Benfica, who are giants
Mm.
in football, regardless of which team you play. So
Yep.
whether it's the under 19s, whether it's the men's team, the women's team, Benfica is Benfica.
Yep.
But something that came out of the players' union was that the Department of Work and blah 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 came out with a paper on what the minimum pay should be for players in each of the divisions and the breakdown of the the leagues, right?
Mm.
And they add. So we've got first division is obviously full time, second division is full time, and then the third division and so on are part time. So there's a reduction in the payments as you go down based on average hours worked.
Right.
Now, the way that the ministry has calculated this is first division, they do 45 hours a week.
Right. Okay.
Right? So they should be getting a minimum of, I think it was like 800 and something
Okay.
euros a month. Yep.
Yeah.
Which is average salary in
Yeah.
Gibraltar. The second division, which again is supposed to be professional and full time, has been calculated to only do 21 hours a month.
Oh, okay.
21 hours a week. So they only get, as a minimum, half that. And then the third division, stock, women's first division, and the futsal players are all only doing 15 hours a week, according to this ministry letter. So they get paid even less.
Okay.
Now, the players' union is obviously pissed off with this because, one, the government hasn't asked the players how many hours a week they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
and two, they haven't asked the clubs how many hours the players are doing.
Mate,
Now,
listen.
you tell
The fact
me,
is, the fact is, it's not as profitable as they would have wanted it to be. If it was a very profitable part of the game, then I'm sure it would be gone over with a fine tooth comb. But I just think there's no money in it, so they don't care.
what you mean for second division and the rest?
Yeah.
Who doesn't care? The government or?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, pretty much. But you can't say, right? Second division is supposed to be professional. So those guys are going into training as professional footballers,
Yeah.
but their minimum that's covered by the government, this is the minimum that these players should be paid, is only 400 and something euros a month.
Right.
Would you be able to earn a living on 400 and something euros per month
No,
in
not at all.
Cyprus?
Because listen, I know straight off the bat some players who've been offered contracts at second division club, male footballers. Yeah. They've been offered contracts at second division clubs. And as full time professionals, the word derisory, I'm using that loosely. Now, number one, to be fair, most of the clubs pay cash,
Mm,
right? Number two, most of the clubs, I don't know whether this is just a way of tax dodging or whatever, but they throw in apartments, they throw in cars, rental cars, and all that kind of stuff as well. And some of them pay for food, so they might give them like a budget on food every week or something like that.
right.
So I guess it kind of adds up to a decent wage if you add the, do you get what I'm saying, the value of staying in
Yeah.
an apartment or renting a car, whatever. But still, the amount of money that is thrown at them is shit. It's absolute dog shit. And there was
Yeah.
one player, again, I'm not going to mention his name. I had him speaking to a second division club, and he said, what they've offered me as a pro footballer in the second division is less than what I was is less than what I was getting as an academy player at a championship club. Academy player.
Yeah.
We're talking YTS.
Yeah.
you know, YTS is for the non English understanding people. YTS was the youth training, whatever it was. It's just for young academy players, and they were working and training, etc. So
Yeah, it's like 45 quid a week or something like
yeah,
that. Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's a bit like, you know, people were getting paid to when they go into the straddle when they turn 18.
you said it, not us, Pedro. You said it, not us.
So for
You
people
mute yourself.
listening, Pedro says they're treating them like housekeepers with a salary of 200 euros plus board and food and social insurance. That's Pedro saying that.
Yes, yes, yes. But look, one day I'm gonna write another article about wages and payments, and that could get me into a lot of trouble. But I've come to a point now where it's like these things need to come out. They really do need to come out.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And
Mm-hmm.
again, sorry to plug it, but the recent article on managers has gone out on social media, and there's a certain platform that I use religiously, and it's got quite a few impressions. Let's just put it that way. Quite a few impressions. Not, I don't know whether people are clicking on the actual link itself, but you never know.
Let's, yeah. I'll
Yes,
do a quick check now.
you do that.
Yeah, but I should say as well that we're getting some good views on it. So
Yeah, that's all right. It's
people
a good result.
people people are going to be people are going to be paying attention
Mm.
for sure.
All right. Well, look. Before we wrap it up, because I think people might be slowly falling asleep here. We put it on the Facebook group page for any questions, and we had a couple of questions actually, questions for the show, and perhaps some of our live viewers can help us with the answers because it's a bit of a tricky one. There are a couple of tricky ones anyway. Where are they? So Mike Pieri, what is start again. What is the record number of managerial sackings in the Cypriot League? Feels like it gets worse every year. Well, as I said, last season we counted 28. Does anyone know if there's a higher number than that?
Boy, I be a difficult one to. The issue is as well is the league is bigger than what it was as well. So
Yes. Yes.
I know a lot of times in the past there was only 10 or 12 teams.
And how far back are we going to go as well? Because
Well,
I don't think there's any records. Like,
to,
you can't
to,
go. There's like a database.
yeah, to be fair, the further back you go, I mean, this is with everybody, the further back you go, the managers stay a long time.
Yeah, you say that, but I think at Omonia, we in the 80s, even during the time when we were successful, I think we had a manager every year. Most of them were Bulgarian anyway.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that when I was doing the research to my article.
Mm.
Speaking
Lot
of,
of Bulgarians, and a lot
yeah,
of names that if you pronounce in English, they sound very rude. Okay, next question. Well, actually, there's only one more. Ryan Guild, thank you for tuning in, Ryan. With all the managerial sackings, who is considered the greatest coach in the history of Cypriot football? What is the record for the longest serving manager as well? Wow. Okay.
okay,
Okay.
so
So yeah, go on. You go with your arguments two
I
and was
mean,
it four and against? Go on.
greatest coach.
Yeah.
I'm going to be biased.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to tell you Jovanovic.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're talking 4 league titles and 1 Cypriot Cup in 2 spells.
Well, yeah, but also what he did in the Champions League. You know,
Okay.
I think what he did with that Abuel team, the way he got those players playing, and the way the league couldn't keep up with what he was doing. Is I think he did a fantastic job. I think he's, despite what Getspire says, I think he was the best. He was the best coach. I mean, look at what he's doing in Greece at the moment.
Okay, that's what you're going with, yeah?
Yep.
Ingebrigtsen. Well, look, when you look at the records, I mean, you mentioned Jovanovic, 4 titles, 4 Super Cups. He won the Super Cup. Ketspire won 3 league titles one with Abuel, 2 with Anorthosis. He won 2.
The one with Abuel, he didn't win it.
Well, he was the coach for most of it, was he not?
He was, but he didn't win it. Kostis.
Oh, okay. Well, he's gonna claim it, isn't he? He's gonna claim it.
He's claiming it, but it's not his to claim.
He's gonna claim it anyway. Anyway, you've got Arsov, that's Omonia. 3 league titles between 86 and 93. I think he had 2 spells with us. 4 Cypriot Cups. And then you got Mitosevic that won, I think, was it 4 in the bounce? 4 in the bounce, Anorthosis? 4 league titles on the bounce and a Cypriot Cup as well. I think they did the double in 98, didn't they?
What I can do is I can get some stats up. Let's have a look.
Go on, you get your stats up. So, for the viewers, who would you say is the greatest coach in Cypriot football of all time?
I saw Arsov come up.
Yep. I brought him up, bro. I brought him up. Don't worry. Jovanovic, Berg, Milojevic. Okay, there's 3. But which one would you choose there, Loiza? Which one of the 3? And even if it hurts your feelings, don't worry about it. Just say it. We're not going to hold it against you. Because you can't, as much as we don't like Abuel and what they achieved, you can't, just poo-poo it because they're our rivals. Like, Jovanovic was elite. Okay.
So, I've got it here on Transfermarkt.
Oh.
They've got it on points per game.
Right.
Hold on, let me see how far back I can put this.
Oh God.
All right. Minimum amount of matches, 50 matches? Is that enough?
Yeah, I'd say that, yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so points per game. You're not going to believe who's top.
Points per game?
Yeah, on points per game.
Oh, don't tell me Avgusti.
No, don't worry. No. So, I'll read off the top 5, right? So 5 is Milojevic. He's got 2.03 points per game.
Okay.
4 is Uzunidis. He's played 50 matches, but yeah, he's 2.04 points per game. Number 3 is Christiansen with 2.09 points per game.
Well, yeah.
Jovanovic is 2 with 2.22 points per game. And number 1 is Donis.
Get the fuck out of here.
2.29. Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I can
But you wouldn't say he's the greatest, though, would you?
No. But what we're seeing here is he's got the most points per match.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just looking. Let's see. So 6, there's Petev. He's got 2 points per game.
Okay.
And then you've got Idiakev, 1.96.
Oh, okay. He had 2 spells at Ike, didn't he?
Yeah. 100 matches altogether. And Getspire is number 8 with 1.95 points per game.
Jimmy!
Then Spilevsky with 1.92. And then Berg with 1.88.
Here's a question.
Rounds off the 10.
Here's a question: if Ari win the title this season, if they win the title this season and perform a miracle, and I use this, and they perform a miracle by getting into the semi-finals of the Europa League, does that make Shpilevsky the GOAT?
It gets him close. If it doesn't make him the GOAT, it gets him close, doesn't it?
But that's only 2 league titles. So are we
Yeah.
going based on European qualification?
Well, yeah, that's a very important part of it, isn't it?
In that case, should Berg not be considered, given that he won 2 league titles? Okay, one not officially. I know people are going to get at me for that. But he got 2. Listen, the club was saying back to back, so I'm taking that.
Ammonia finished top twice. There you go.
Oh, okay. We actually did win the league during the pandemic. We did win it.
Mm.
We did win the league. Did we not win the league?
Well,
Yeah.
it finished, did it?
No, the following season, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And he got us to the group stages for the first time in our history. So shouldn't he not be considered, or are we just going by getting through to the latter stages and then, because if that's the case, I'm not going to argue. But I'm talking about for the club's history.
You have to put Getspire up there, and Anorthosis never got out the group stages, did they?
No, that's true. That's true. Although he's self-proclaimed as the greatest.
Yeah, but
So I'm not putting him in there because of the fact that he said it.
Yeah. Yeah, but he has to be in there because the stats don't lie. It's the people who interpret the stats that lie.
I think by this Markling thingy is not fair. We didn't mention Meghan Markle.
No, I think it's I think transfer marked, because I did it off transfer marked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yes, for Seminole. Manikui, no talk about semen, please. No. I mean, these coaches have 40 games a year now. Okay, I get what you mean. So there's more games involved,
Yeah.
cup, etc., etc.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's why I did it points per match.
Yeah. Berg achieved second most difficult thing in Cypriot football. Obviously, up all European results first, qualifying for group stages. There's that. But then again, so did Lennon.
Yeah.
So did Lennon. So yeah, look, I think it's very. I don't think anyone could begrudge Jovanovic as being called the best coach in Cyprus. I don't think you can begrudge him that. You could argue it, but if it came to a majority vote, for example, right, let's just say Abuo and Omonia fans aren't allowed to vote, right? And Jovanovic gets the overall vote from Apollon or whatever fans, right? You couldn't begrudge him. You couldn't.
Well, I wouldn't begrudge it because I'm in agreement.
No, but what I'm saying is that
Yeah.
in the interest of fairness and to be balanced and objective, it's very difficult to, Berg was the first, the pressure was immense. Well, I think this is the other thing that we need to take into consideration. I'm not saying that Berg should be up there, but I think we need to consider the achievements that he made, given that the previous year, I remember October time, I think we lost. Did we lose to Olympiacos? And no, it was the following season. It wasn't the COVID, it wasn't the pandemic or that was cancelled. It was the following season. We lost to Olympiacos away from home. And apparently Lachko wanted him gone. They wanted him out. But they kept him. And we were in the group stages at the time as well. And then we went on to win the league. So I think, yeah, the pressure was insane. But I think the one thing that has tainted our title win that season was all the games were behind closed doors. And I think that's what it is. When you go to, this is another subject for another time, but when there's fans in the stadium, it certainly makes a difference. 100%.
What I will say is, some games in Gibro the atmosphere didn't change much between having fans there and not having fans there.
You think?
Well, for instance, right? Let's take Cyrio and there's Garmiotissa versus Doxa.
Okay.
What's the difference between having fans there and not having fans there?
Yeah, I get that. But what I'm talking about is that if you're Omonia and you're playing Upwell in the
Yeah,
derby and you're away,
yeah,
yeah, it's going to make a difference. If you're
yeah,
Anorthosis going to Apollon at the Tsirio or AL Apollon, it makes a difference. I mean, that game didn't even go through last season,
yeah,
to be honest.
yeah,
So I think that's the one thing that tainted our title victory, that it wasn't in front of supporters. And people are going to say, oh, well, there was no one in the ground and the atmosphere didn't get to the players and they were free to play, whatever. But at the same time, it was how can I put it? It was an anomaly in football because there weren't fans in the stadium. So at the same time, perhaps the players' adrenaline levels weren't going to be as high, and maybe their performance levels as a result were going to be lower. So that's the other side to the argument, and that's the scientific side of things.
yeah, yep.
Okay, right. Question for you, Tasso, from Pedro. For the sake of asking, does he recognize the fact that Omonia is the only team that was playing the European games every week, not every 2 weeks?
I mean, yeah, but that doesn't change what does that do?
I think what he's saying is that Omonia played more games in a shorter period of time, which worked as a disadvantage to us, whereas Upwell were playing a game every 2 weeks. This is the, you know how like you've got Premier League Twitter and they
Mm-hmm.
argue about, who's better, Salah or Hazard,
Oh,
and I
this is
think
what
this is Cyprus's social media
I
arguments where it's like,
I
well,
get it.
yeah.
I get it. I get it. You can only play what's in front of you. That's it.
Who did Upwell play in the group stage that season anyway?
They had oh bloody hell, man. They
Upwell
had
Champions League 2012. So it was 2011, 2012 that season, wasn't it?
they had Zenit.
Put up to. I'm just Wikipediaing
Zenit?
it. Come on, where is it? For fuck's sake. Zenit, Porto, and Shakhtar.
Yeah.
And they
So
won the group. Lyon in the next round, which you guys won on penalties.
yeah, and then we got dicked
And,
by Real Madrid.
and then Real Madrid came to town.
Yeah.
And they gave you a taste of your medicine.
Yeah.
Ronaldo scored twice in the game at the Bernabeu.
Yep.
Funny that Ronaldo couldn't score against Omonia though. Sorry.
All right. Wait. 50-year-old Ronaldo. 50-year-old Ronaldo is gonna have a bit of difficulty.
Oh, come on. Anyway, so do you believe we're going to beat Red Star away?
So Red Star Belgrade. Talking about the Alice's Europa League. Is that right?
No, Adi aren't playing Red Star. They're playing
No?
Betis.
So
Oh, you mean okay? Because when on 1 year we played Red Star Belgrade in the qualifiers,
right.
and it was only one game. It was only one game, and we beat them on penalties. That's what he's talking about.
Okay. Got you.
So do I believe we could have beaten them away from home? I don't know. I really don't know. Really, really, really don't know. Because this is football. I mean, look at Legia Warsaw. That was one game as well. So, but then again, we played against the likes of Granada and we gave them a run for their money. Yeah, listen, it's done. It's done. We can't argue about that season. It was. I think it was a historical season for us. I mean, certainly for the No Choftes podcast, it was something special. Anyway, I think I might just go back to watch some of those, some of our reactions to some of the games, man. Happier times when we knew that we had a team with balls. Anyway, one game is more than none games for qualifying, e.g. Abo Lucky Draw.
Man.
You can tell that it's mostly all money fans watching this at the moment, bro.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell. Listen, end of the day, boys. Let's face facts. They did it, and we haven't. It's that
Yet.
simple. Yeah,
Yet.
yeah. But you know, they're the only Cypriot club to reach that stage in Europe, and whether we like them or not, you got to give them their flowers for it. But you know, it is what it is. And until we do something similar, if not better, that's always going to be thrown in our face.
Yeah. Listen, we're not around anymore to drag you kicking and screaming into the future. Yeah, somebody else has got to do it now since we're being weighed down by all the debt. So.
Anyway, I think we're done. We've done almost 2 hours. Almost
Yeah.
2 hours. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button. Leave a comment if you're watching it on the repeats. As I said, we've got the giveaway with Food from Cyprus. Visit foodfromcyprus.com. Use the discount code NCN12 when you make a purchase. You'll be immediately entered into the draw to get 2 nights in an Airbnb in Lefkosia. We're not going to pay for your flights if you're watching from outside of Cyprus, by the way. You're going to have to pay for it yourselves. But check the link at the bottom in the description. You can see the Airbnb. And if you want to rent it before the new year, go ahead. You know, it's fine. It's fine. You know, we're not going to be pissed off. It's all good. But yeah.
What I would say as well is,
Yes.
you know, cup final. There's a cup final in when is it? May?
Mate. Yep.
Might need some accommodation for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And don't forget, every time you purchase with that code, you'll be entered into the draw. So you could be entered 15, 16 times. It just depends on how many times you use it. So you could have 16 entries if you want, you know, which obviously makes it easier for you to, greatens your chances. Greatens? Is that a word? Greatens. That word.
Embiggens.
Embiggens, yeah. Yes.
Embiggens.
So yeah. All right, cool. Well, look, follow us on Instagram and on Twitter at This Is Mappa. Thassos is at Fles Cafes. Anything else you want to promote, my guy?
Check the website, guys. Stel's got a new article.
Yes, I have.
Click the linky.
Absolutely. So until next time, boys and girls, adios.